Hey everybody! Welcome to Learning Sunday, where every Sunday we learn something together. This Sunday I want to talk about credit scores. It's a financial thing. So credit scores are these little things that'll haunt you for your entire life. And so I decided to teach you about them now so you can start stressing about it now. So you guys ready to learn about something that's gonna just make you angry? Let's learn together! So I looked up the definition of credit, and it's the ability of a customer to obtain goods or services before payment based on the trust that that payment will be made in the future. So credit is when someone gives you something now based on the trust that you'll pay for it later. Most people know credit using credit cards. These companies give you money to pay for things, and then you have to pay them back eventually once you have the money. It's supposed to be about once a month. Now, when this doesn't happen, when you don't treat credit with respect, it shows in your credit score. So a credit score is showing that you have a good payment history, that you know how to handle money. You pay things on time, you're a trustworthy person. That's what your credit score basically reflects. Now, a lot of people don't realize that they need good credit in order to do a lot of things in life. So a lot of people put it off. I'm one of those people. I put off caring about my credit score, and then at 25 I realized that I need a good one. Because you need a good credit score in order to get a loan for a car, get a loan for a house or a mortgage, get good interest. If you want to rent a car companies are now looking at your credit score to see if you're trustworthy enough to rent their cars. If you want to buy DirecTV, you have to give them your social security number so that they can look at your credit score, because apparently you can't use DirecTV unless you have good credit. If you want to rent an apartment, they look at your credit score to see if you will pay them once a month. And then you need a good credit score to get higher limits on a card so you can use your card more. Basically, your credit score will determine a lot of huge things in your life. It's just what it is. That's just how America functions. We need good credit in order to get stuff. So, credit is supposed to be there to help you, to prove that you're a trustworthy person. But if you're like me and you've never done anything wrong, but you never did anything to build your credit, you'll have bad credit. Yes, that's right. If you do absolutely nothing wrong, you never miss a payment on any utility bill, you pay your rent on time, you pay your electric bill, your water bill, your internet, your cable, whatever, you pay everything on time. It doesn't matter unless you follow the actual steps to get good credit. You will have bad credit. You could also be the richest person in the entire world, but if you never do something like use a credit card in the right manner to gain credit, you'll have a bad credit score. You could have $1 million in the bank, but you could have terrible credit at the same time. How much money you have does not affect your score. So, how do you build credit? Loans and credit cards, basically. Owing someone money and proving that you can pay it back is how you build credit. Now, a lot of people think credit cards are scary, and I was definitely one of these people. I thought that a credit card meant I was automatically in debt. I had this weird stigma that I'm like, if I use a credit card to pay for something for $20, I'll be in debt $20, and then I'll also have to pay them interest on the $20 I owe them. That's not what that is. If you pay for everything with a credit card, and then you pay that credit card off at the end of the month, you'll start gaining credit. You're showing that you can borrow money and give it back. Now, nothing will go wrong with your credit card if you pay the balance every single month. You can pay portions of it, but then you'll start owing interest on the remaining balance. There are minimum payments you can start doing, but if you owe $400 and they're like, you can just pay us $100 this month, you're like, oh, okay, great. But that $300 will start having interest on it. That's the only bad part about credit cards, that if you don't pay it off, bad things start to happen, and then your credit score will go down. But that's the point. It shows that you can't pay what you need to pay, that you are not good at borrowing things. And then loans, a loan on a house, a loan on a car, student loan. If you pay those off correctly, that will raise your credit score. Your water bill, your internet bill, that's nothing to do with your credit score unless you're paying them with a credit card, and then at the end of the month, you pay that credit card off. Does that make sense? So credit score shows your credit history. Credit is when you borrow and then you give back. Now, what causes bad credit? A lot of things. Not paying your bills on time, or ever. Defaulting on a loan, meaning you just don't pay off the loan. Filing for bankruptcy, being like, hey world, I'm done with money, I don't know how to do it, help. Having your home foreclosed on, maxing out your credit card, closing a card that still has balance on it, closing old credit cards, applying for a credit card or a loan. Now, yes, you heard me correctly. When you apply to open a card or when you close a card, it hurts your credit. I'm aware of the stupidity within in that. Now, let me explain. So when you apply for a card, they have to do what's called a hard inquiry. There's a soft inquiry and a hard inquiry. A hard one means it dings your credit when they look at it, because they're digging through, they're opening up your credit score. It's showing that you are trying to borrow even more money, so they're dinging your credit. They're dinging it because people had to look into it, and so a hard inquiry hurts your credit. A soft inquiry does not. What's a soft one? That sounds weird. So what's a soft inquiry? When you go look at your credit score, you're just glancing at the score. You can check your credit score as much as you want. Go Credit Karma, do those things, whatever. You can check your score. It won't hurt it. You'll be aware of the situation. It's good to check your credit score. It's the hard inquiries, the hard, real grind inquiries that hurt your score. And then once you've fixed all those problems, like everything that hurt your credit, maybe you fixed, you pay off all the money you owe, and you're like, great, those marks on my record will go away. No, they stick with you for years. So if you file for bankruptcy, that will stay on your credit score for like 10 years. So you're probably freaking out. I've just given you a lot of very intense information. This thing that just basically controls all your future big purchases just looming over you. So what I suggest is you get a credit card. It's one of the best ways to build credit. You have a card, you pay for things with your card. At the end of the month, you pay the credit card off. You're like, but it's too big of a balance. I don't have that kind of money. Then why were you spending it? Spend like what you have. Spend as if it were coming straight out of your bank account. And then at the end of the month, you pay that off. Or you can pay it off weekly. You can do small little payments. Whatever it is, pay it off. And guess what? Sometimes credit cards give you reward points. So if you are getting like a cent back for every dollar that you spend, you're literally making money. I know, but you're spending more than you're making. But at least like it's like getting a little bit of a discount. It's like a 1% discount on everything you buy. And some credit cards have even bigger discounts and points and miles and things. They all want you to sign with them because they want you to miss payments and pay interest and make more money off of you. That's what the credit card companies get out of this, by the way, is they're hoping that you'll skip payments and having to end up owing them more than what you borrowed. But you're not gonna do that because you're gonna be smart, because you're gonna listen to what I'm saying. Get a credit card, just put a bill on it. Put your telephone bill on it. Put your internet bill on it. And then every month, all you do is you just pay off that credit card as if it were that bill. That's all you have to do. It's very simple. I admit that I was stressed out about credit. I didn't understand it. I wasn't too concerned about it. I put it off in the back of my mind until I was in my mid-20s. And then I was looking into buying a house and they laughed at me because my credit score was terrible because I hadn't done anything to get good credit. So it was just coasting. And I was stressed out about getting a credit card, but then once I had it, I realized it's not terrible. It's not a bad thing. It's actually good. So we covered what credit is, why you need good credit, how to get good credit, and what not to do to get bad credit. So that's it for today. I hope I helped. I hope I helped a little bit. Please comment below and let me know if there's anything else you'd like to learn. Tweet me or Instagram me things you want to learn, because every Sunday we learn together. So subscribe to see videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. But remember guys, above all else, stay awesome, possums.